All right, so we're not gonna look at the underlying energy since we kind of already got a lot of cards to work with right now. So we're gonna just go ahead and take a look at this. So in the past here, you have the Knight of Wands, which is talking about somebody that could be very passionate, very exciting. This is someone that you can really go on adventures with. This is also a travel card too. So I don't know if y'all have been traveling here, it's not going back and forth to see your boo, or if this is somebody that this is someone that you feel is very attractive, very fun, and exciting. The thing here is with the Knight of Wands is that he's kind of unreliable in a certain way. Like he has commitment issues in some respects because honestly, he's all about transmitting his energy. He's all about giving his energy out, and in a very exciting sense. Okay, but he doesn't necessarily go out of his way to try and make be serious and make stuff work. Put concrete stuff into it. So there could be somebody that was pretty much coming and going into your life. This can also be somebody that is a Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. That's coming up in the past year, or this could be even you guys, right? Not saying that you're unreliable. This could be that this is the energy that you guys had when you guys were having a lot more fun. You guys were enjoying your life, but I don't think so. Okay, I don't think this was mostly enjoying your life. I feel like this was honestly a struggle in some ways. This was very interesting for the Knight of Wands. He doesn't typically do this. He's not typically beat down and exhausted and ready to give up and then constantly dealing with the moon. Like when stuff hits the fan, he travels. He goes off and finds something that's enjoyable. And at this situation, it could have been that there's an individual that has an age difference between you and them, and they are going through a certain time, or you were dealing with them because they were going through a time of exhaustion. Or maybe you were dealing with somebody that you felt was having commitment issues, or they were showing their unreliability. So it made you internally feel very exhausted, kind of like I said, ready to throw in the towel, but you didn't. Okay, you didn't throw away the towel. You didn't give up. But I do get a sense that the situation kind of led you to a place of limbo. Like the moon. I mean, like the moon doesn't typically go into limbo state. It's more the hangman energy. But I do get the sense here that it was, there was a time in this relationship where it was so confusing. Yeah, there was a lot of intense emotions because the Nine of Wands is restless and it's just, like I said, exhausted. So storm coming in, so that's probably why the room is getting darker. But you have so much going on, and it's kind of confusing, right? You're having to just kind of remain defensive. There's some energy, there's some defensive energy here in the past that's definitely coming up, but it was a time of confusion. Like you just didn't know what was going on. You didn't know what was happening. You didn't know what to do, and the person that you were dealing with wasn't being very clear about their stuff either. It's like you kind of really had to walk on faith with this individual, kind of go on faith, even though you were really tired of dealing with their BS potentially. Okay, this could also, be that, you were trying to have fun, you're trying to enjoy your connection, but it was so exhausting, and it got to a place of confusion. Okay, but ultimately, I feel like this could be someone else. This could be someone else entirely. This is your card anyway. This is you guys, all right? So, a man or woman, right? This is the queens are cardinal signs, and you are a cardinal signs. You are a cardinal sign now. So, the Knight of Wands coming up, this is somebody else that's probably younger, someone that is or has a different maturity level. They're probably potentially the same age, but they have a different maturity level. Okay. But then with the Nine of Wands, that's crazy. It's just like this person was literally having to struggle to deal with this individual. Okay, but despite having to go through the moon, I feel like you guys remain determined because the Nine of Wands, he doesn't just give up, right? He stays there. He stays determined to finish the cycle. He's almost there anyway, and I feel like this person knew that, and I feel like this person could feel that they're getting close to something, despite how hard they've been standing, how hard they've been fighting, how long they've been standing there, and they've overcome this difficult energy of the moon where there is not a lot being seen. There may be some things that are kind of some shadow work. I know the Knight of Wands not good at being sneaky. They're very easy. They just automatically tell the truth. I feel they don't necessarily care about what you think. They don't really care. So I don't think there was any shadow work potentially or anybody cheating. But I do get the sense that there was just a lot of stuff that wasn't being said, and a lot of stuff that wasn't able to be seen. Somebody was probably potentially not really sure of how they felt, so there was a lot of confusion about this. But I feel like there was some determination to keep pushing through, keep moving on, keep getting, keep walking and following their intuition, because the Nine of Wands is indicating that there was a want to kind of give up of this, give up the situation, but then there was determination that really pushed through, that really got them through. So with this kind of effect here with the moon, intense energies and everything, I feel like you guys come out on the other side here, or there's somebody that's coming out on the other side. I really feel like this is you guys, because with the Queen of Wands, this is showing me that you guys are feeling more confident in yourselves. You feel like your energy, which is absolutely fantastic. I love this. I love that you guys feel in your energy. And I get this feeling that with the Queen of Wands, that you feel more determined to go ahead and get what you want, right? The Queen of Wands is very active. She's very socially attractive. Like she emits a lot of energy, just like the Knight of Wands, but she's like naturally this way, right? She's very authentic to herself. She doesn't play around either. She doesn't mess. Hang on, turn on the light here so it's a little brighter in here, but yeah, she doesn't take any mess, but she's also very go-getter. She's very active, and she goes for what she wants. There's nothing that stops her. She utilizes her emotions and pushes through it. She really she's awesome. She's also she's magic. You know what I mean? The Queen of Wands, she's magic. So since you guys are magic here, I do get the sense that there was some there's some not procrastination, but some detail oriented looking. All right, this Nine of Pentacles could have been a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but I really feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, because the Knight of Pentacles, he looks at these pentacles really closely. He's really detail oriented. He's really looking at what's going on, right? What does this pentacle have to offer him? He doesn't necessarily. He's the longest knight he's the slowest knight of the deck, rather. And I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, like there was this time of slowness, and this is even slow for you. I feel like you're just dragged. Like this feels like nothing's happening. The Knight of Pentacles moving so slow, and the Queen of Wands, she moves fast, okay? She may not move as fast as the Queen of Swords, but she's fast. So is the Knight of Wands. At least there was something going on in the past, right? Sure, there was some drama. Sure, there was somebody that wasn't really sure if they wanted to commit to a relationship, but there was still some progress being made. There's progress being made now, but it's slow as progress. And it feels like externally that nothing's going down, nothing's happening. Because somebody's potentially taking their time, looking at what they feel is valuable, and really, really looking at it too. This individual is potentially procrastinating maybe, but I feel like here, because this is internal, this is looking at the details, looking at what is of value to you. Potentially you guys may be looking, this could be you guys, right? This could be you guys looking at your heart and figuring out what is valuable. What do you want to offer to somebody? Maybe you are trying to offer something to someone, but you're not necessarily sure yet. Maybe there's something that needs to change, just some sort of change of perspective, but this environment is put on hold because of the Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles rather, and the Queen of Wands. There's something going on here with these three. And I feel like it's because somebody may not be sure if they can commit or they want to commit. That's why they're looking at the details. Let's go ahead and take a look. Why is the Hangman in the external energy? Give us some clarity on this. Okay, the Queen of Wands is the reason why there's the Hangman in the present. So there could be that there's somebody around you guys that's, that is another Aries that's potentially, or someone that you feel that is their, your other suit. However, I'm getting the sense is the reason why there's a Hangman is a perspective that needs to change about yourself. What is this perspective that they need potentially on themselves? What is this perspective that they need for the Queen of Wands? New love. Ace of Cups. Okay. It's okay. So you guys are very, yeah, you guys are, it's about your confidence. All right. And I feel like with the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands is confident. She doesn't care. She's like, she wants what she wants. She'll go get it. And that is you guys, right? That's why you guys have her card, have this card here, male or female, because it don't matter. If you want something, you're going to go get it. But I feel like there's, once bitten, twice shy energy here with the Knight of Pentacles. Like, you're taking a slow time. There's some slow energy going on here because somebody's not sure if they can commit. This may not be you. This may be somebody else, right? It could be that somebody here is taking a slow time, really trying to figure out what they want, figuring out what they feel is of value to them, and they're really slow and they're really taking their time with it. But at the same time, they're kind of like, they're making this process so slow. And honestly, there's no decision. Nothing can happen until they make a decision about potentially the Queen of Wands and starting something new in love with them. All right. But I feel like this is potentially about, the Queen of Wands figuring out what it is that she wants, figuring out what it is that she really wants to manifest, if she can trust going out and falling in love with somebody again. Because in the past year, you had to deal with some crazy behind that who didn't know what they wanted. So you're like, well, I don't know if I want to put my time and effort into building a relationship with somebody like that again. Somebody that I don't know if is going to actually commit to me. You've got some serious experience here that's kind of like, that is understandable to tear you away. But there's a hangman energy. It's all on your part, I feel, Aries. It's all up to you whether you want to start something new with this individual or not. You've been through this before, but you have this, you're attracting new energy. You're feeling yourself. You're feeling more confident. You have everything that you need to maintain and to create a beautiful relationship. You have an Ace of Cups here. It's just going to require you to be more emotionally open. And I just get the sense here. That there's a bit of hesitation with the Knight of Pentacles. There's just something that's kind of holding you back because you don't see all sides here. You're not sure if you want to settle down and commit to somebody who potentially, to somebody like this in the past. But you don't know if they're the same person, right? You don't know if they're the same person that came in, that missed you, that confused the crap out of you, potentially, right? We don't know. And it's all about taking a leap of faith and going out and doing it. And that's going to require confidence and bravery. See, you hear that ring, guys? I don't know if you'll hear it. But in the future, you have the Wheel of Fortune. That's the second time around. That's the second chance. This is a wonderful card. And I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune coming up, this is talking about a situation coming back around for, come back around to test your knowledge of the situation, to really see where you have learned, right? To really give you another chance in a situation, really. But this is also fate, right? It's also fate and destiny. And whatever happens here, it's meant to happen, but it's all about your response, right? It could be like, it could be like a test, potentially. But you have clarity when this comes up. You have clarity in the situation. You know what you're looking at when you come into this energy. And you also are, you're coming from a place of wanting to balance some things out, all right off the get-go. Like you're gonna want to really get things moving. But I like this energy. This is beautiful. You got something coming back from the past, or you potentially have a second chance at something. Some potentially new love altogether, right? Potentially with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But this is like a second time around, either with a situation in a relationship that you guys currently are in, or that this is a second chance with somebody from the past, or this is another situation in regards to building a relationship with somebody new. But it may have, this is in a sense similar. But you have clarity here, and you have the ability to see what's going on. You know what your heart wants. You know what you want. You know what you need internally. You know what path you need to take to get to where you want to be that's happy. And it has a lot to do with maintaining balance, a positive give and take, right? Making sure that the relationship itself is a very balanced energy. Yeah, but there's something about this present here. Somebody's not really making a decision quite yet about what they want because of what they feel is valuable, what's worth their time. The Knight of Pentacles, when he commits, he commits. He'll go into it, man. But that's why he's so slow, because he has to make sure that they're, you know, that here's something he wants to commit to, because once he commits, he don't back out. All right, let's go ahead and see what's going on with your romance angels cards this week. Flirt. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Yeah, man, that's what I was saying. It's going to require you to trust. This past situation was a test to see if you can trust yourself, or trust yourself through this situation where there's somebody that may not have been reliable. And now there's a chance now, a second. Well, this is an opportunity now to begin new love, but that was holding you back what's holding you back potentially from gaining new love is potentially this past energy, right? It's whatever's holding you back. Whatever decision that you're looking at, whatever you're trying to analyze, it's going to require trust in the end of the day. You may not have all the answers with the Knight of Pentacles, but it's all about going on trust and releasing whatever this was, surrendering to the perspective, which is that you are at a different place. You have gained so much. You are in your power now. You're so confident, right? You're so, you know, you're so magical, okay? And you can get what you want. You can have what you want. You can be happy. You've come so far. You've worked so hard. And you could deserve to have the love of your life. But do you see it that way?